let us see all the muscles. All the muscles of the gluteus maximus except tensor fasciae lata. Next, reflected head of rectus femoris and origin of hamstrings and insertion of upper fibers of adductor magnus. So totally there are only 4 muscles that are structures that are under the cover of the gluteus maximus. Okay, once again, the muscles are the structures which is under the cover of the gluteus maximus are all the muscles of the gluteus maximus except tensor fasciae lata and reflected head of rectus femoris and origin of hamstrings and insertion of the upper fibers of the adductor magnus. So 4 muscles. Okay, next, what are all the vessels like superior and inferior gluteal vessel and internal pudendal vessel and trochanteric arterial anastomosis and cruciate arterial anastomosis. So there are 4 vessels: superior and inferior gluteal vessel supplying all the gluteal regions and internal pudendal vessels. Okay, then trochanteric arterial anastomosis and cruciate arterial anastomosis. Next, nerves are like superior and inferior gluteal nerves like superior and inferior gluteal vessels. Next, sciatic nerve, posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh, nerve to quadratus femoris and nerve to obturator internus. Okay, next, joints and ligaments like hip joint, sacroiliac joint, 2 joints and 2 ligaments, sacrotuberous ligament, sacrospinous ligament. So there are 2 joints and 2 ligaments. Next, bursae, trochanteric bursae, ischial bursae, gluteofemoral bursae. So there are 3 bursae. Okay, once again, to summarize the structure under the cover of the gluteus maximus are all the muscles of the gluteus maximus except tensor fasciae lata. Okay, gluteus maximus, all the muscles of the gluteus maximus except tensor fasciae lata. Next, reflected head of rectus femoris muscle. Next, origin of hamstrings. Okay, then insertion of the upper fibers of the adductor magnus. Okay, there are 4 muscles. Next, vessels, superior and inferior gluteal vessels, internal pudendal vessels, trochanteric arterial anastomosis, cruciate arterial anastomosis. Next, let us come to see the nerves: superior and inferior gluteal nerves, sciatic nerve, posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh and nerve to quadratus femoris and nerve to obturator internus. So okay, there are totally 5 nerves, 4 vessels, 4 muscles and 2 joints, 2 ligaments and 3 bursae. 2 joints are hip joint, sacroiliac joint, the joint which is between the sacrum and the ilium bone. Okay, then sacrotuberous ligament, then sacrospinous ligament between the sacrum and the spinous process. Okay, the ligament which is present between the sacrum and the spinous process, it is nothing but sacrospinous ligament. Okay, next, bursae like trochanteric bursae, ischial bursae and gluteofemoral bursae. So there are 3 bursae. Okay, so to mention everything in one diagram, I have given everything under the structure of under the cover of the gluteus maximus. So this is nothing but gluteus maximus muscle, this one. Okay, and the structures are gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, this one, and tensor fasciae lata. Okay, 3 muscles, main muscles. Okay, these are supplied by the superior gluteal nerve. Okay, this yellow color marked point is superior gluteal nerve. Then the gluteus medius and gluteus minimus are supplied by the superior gluteal artery. This is also one of the content or the structure under the cover of the gluteus maximus. Then gluteus maximus is supplied by inferior gluteal nerve, this one, inferior gluteal nerve and inferior gluteal artery. Okay, this one is inferior gluteal artery. The red color marker point is inferior gluteal artery. Then okay, as I already said, inferior gluteal artery and superior gluteal artery, inferior gluteal nerve and superior gluteal nerve. So okay, that's all. These are the structure under the cover of the gluteus maximus, the vessels and the nerves. Okay, some more vessels and nerves are posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh, this one. Okay, posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh, this is sciatic nerve. Okay, then this one yellow color marked point is nerve to quadratus femoris. Okay, this one. The Greek color marked point is obturator internus muscle, and the above one is superior gamellae and the below one is inferior gamellae, and this one is hip joint. Is also a structure which is under the cover of the gluteus maximus. Okay, then The muscle here is, it is already mentioned, it is quadratus femoris, and this muscle is nothing but adductor magnus. Here I mentioned adductor magnus. This one is biceps femoris. Okay, this one is biceps femoris. To remember this structure under the cover, as we already seen in the hip joint itself, okay, if you read the relations of the hip joint, this structure under the cover of the gluteus maximus will be so easy for you. Okay, it is not so tough to remember it. So once again, to summarize this structure under the cover of the gluteus maximus, this is nothing but gluteus maximus. The nerve supplying the gluteus maximus is inferior gluteal nerve, this one, and the artery supplying the gluteus maximus is inferior gluteal artery, and some other muscles are gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and tensor fasciae lata. All three are supplied by the superior gluteal nerve, and the gluteus medius and gluteus minimus are supplied by the superior gluteal artery. Okay, then biceps femoris, adductor magnus, this one is quadratus femoris, obturator internus, the green color marked point, then superior gamellae, the above one, and the below one is inferior gamellae, and this is hip joint, and the nerves are, this one is posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh, and this is sciatic nerve. So this is also nerve to quadratus femoris. Okay, nerve to quadratus femoris. So in this video we have been clearly learnt about the structure under the cover of the gluteus maximus. Thank you for watching.